Wiper motors. They're an almost perfect way to motorize any kind of a haunt prop. However, some of the biggest concerns most people have is, how do I get the kind of motion out of it that I want, particularly when it's a device that spends its life spinning in circles. So in this video, we'll try and explain different ways you can get different kinds of motion using a wiper motor. We'll remove the motor body, since it's just a big distraction, and concentrate on the crank arm, which is the only part that moves anyways. The first motion that's easy to use is the circular motion itself. If we stop it and put an arm on as an extension, we can attach something to the end of the arm and simply have it moving around in a circle. For example, you could hang it off of a roof and attach a bat or a skeleton or something and just have it swinging wildly in a big circle over people's heads. The next motion to consider is a rocking motion. This is accomplished by attaching an arm to the crank arm, but letting the arm swivel freely. The far end of the arm is then attached to what you want to rock. For example, it could be a rocking chair, or an arm waving, or a tombstone, or even the shovel on a gravedigger. This diagram helps show how it works. As the crank arm rotates, it pushes the arm outwards and then pulls it back in again. By having the base of your object stationary, the only thing it can do is swivel back and forth in a rocking motion. Need your rocker assembly to move a little more? Try moving the contact point where the arm connects closer to the pivot point. The closer to the pivot point, the more your rocker arm will rock and roll. One last motion we'll look at is a piston action. This is identical to the pistons inside your car or a steam engine. In this case, we'll use a shorter flexible arm and another arm for a piston. In this case, the piston must be held between two guides that allows it to slide back and forth, but not move up and down. Now, as the crank turns, the arm will push it in and out, but instead of rocking, the piston will slide. This is great for actions such as coffin lids bumping up and down, things popping up from behind a tombstone, or any other number of items. Those are the basic motions you can get out of a wiper motor. Anything else is just a variation on a theme. And don't forget, you don't have to keep things oriented the way I've shown you here. You can turn things on their side and have the motion in a completely different direction. Experiment and play around. I'll bet you'll come up with all sorts of ideas.